Okay, well, when we do the direction field, it seems pretty straightforward, but we're getting an apparent contradiction with our solution because the curve is not going to look the way it should unless I've done something really ignorant here. Lane, what did I do?
I have a question.
Oh, okay.
For your y prime, that would be your instantaneous slopes at that point, right? Or
Yeah.
very small change in that point.
Right.
And y is equal to at squared, right? Well, could you substitute y into 2 over t so that you would get 2at, so that y prime would be equal to 2at, so that as you increase along t, your
Y
slope...
prime doesn't equal 2, okay, y prime is 2 over t times y. That comes directly out of the equation.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't put any constant in here.
But y is equal to at squared.
Yeah. And of course, if you have an a in front of your t squared, it's going to work on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you put at squared in for y here, the derivative is going to be 2at, right?
Yeah.
And over here, you're going to get 2 over t times at squared, which is 2at, right?
Yeah.
So this just shows you that at squared solves the equation.
So you can't plug that in for y.
No.
Okay.
No, you got to plug this in for, I mean, you got to, okay, when you're putting values of y and t together to get slopes, this is what you get, okay? Now, okay, here's our direction field, but something is haywire because this direction field doesn't give us, it isn't consistent with a parabolic curve with a positive value of a, or even with a negative value of a. Okay? Among other things, this, for positive values of t, is never going to be negative. If you had a parabola, okay, maybe this could be an upward parabola that kind of does this. It would have to turn around and do this. Okay, it would have to start decreasing, descending, and it's not going to do that because this is never going to give you a negative number up here. Okay? As t gets bigger and bigger, this is just going to approach horizontal. And you can see that by the pattern of these values. Okay? And of course you want to look at these numbers and see what the trends are. As t goes up, the slope decreases, right? And as y goes up, the slope increases. Okay? And it doesn't appear that there's anything wrong with these numbers or this plot. So, kind of have a mystery here, which makes it really fun, but kind of ignorant too. Okay, so my question now is, if we know that y equals 1 when t equals 1, then what's the value of a?
It's only 1.